With great power comes great responsibility. Hello everyone, Mason here. How you doing? Today it's time for my 200 subscriber celebration. I want to start off with a big thank you to everyone who got involved with this video. Whether you submitted a book suggestion, a question, or something for me to read out, I'm ever so grateful. Let's begin with the Q&A section. Because I'm a brave man, I'm going to dive right in at the deep end and answer a hard-hitting question. Jeremy Fee asks, pirates or ninjas? Now I'm aware that this is an age-old debate on the internet, but to be honest, I don't understand. For me, there is a clear winner. I mean, come on. The choice here is between some scurvy-ridden, smelly, drunken, seafaring thief or a cool, stealthy, skilled assassin. It's ninjas all the way, mate. Miss Reads a Lot asks, how do you choose what books you read? Honestly, there's no set-in-stone decision-making technique because I am horribly indecisive, so I tend to mix it up. I've mentioned before about my borderline addiction to the daily read deals on Audible. My library is full of them. I keep my eye out for the new releases on Goodreads, although a lot of them don't have audiobooks yet, so it tends to just be a mixture between gut feeling, dice rolls, and making my partner choose. Having said that, recently me and my partner have been taking it in turns to choose a book, not tell the other anything about it, even the title, so that we have to guess what kind of book it's going to be, and that's been a lot of fun. Billy Banzai asks, what is one of your favourite lines from a book? One that hit deep, and why was it significant to you? In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit. Not a dirty, nasty, wet hole, filled with the ends of worms and an oozy smell, nor yet a dry, bare, sandy hole with nothing to sit on or eat. This was a hobbit hole, and that means comfort. Could there really be a more significant line than the opening to The Hobbit, the book that started it all? If it wasn't for reading The Hobbit and subsequently The Lord of the Rings, I don't think that I'd have fallen in love with reading as much as I did, and I certainly don't think that I'd be here recording this video right now. Katarina the Bookworm wants to know, what's your favourite thing in the world? And also, have you ever considered publishing your amazing stories? I can't think of a question crueler than this one. What's your favourite thing in the world? How am I supposed to choose that? I'll tell you one thing that I can't pick. My partner. I was specifically warned by her not to choose her. I really don't know. Oxygen? Food? Water? Sleep? Gravity? I love all of these things, but do they really count because they're essential for survival? I'd like to come up with something unique and interesting, I really would, but to be honest I think the answer is just technology, and more specifically, accessibility. I feel like, as a blind person living in 2021, my life is much easier than it would have been if I was born in the past. Audiobooks exist, there's TV shows with audio description, video games are becoming more accessible, it's easier than ever to communicate with people, and one day technology will most likely give me my sight back, so it might not be the interesting answer, but it's the truth. As for whether I've ever considered trying to publish my creative writing, not really, although my mummy does say that my poetry could be published. Not even kidding, she actually said that. I don't know, I wouldn't even know where to start with all of that. The View from the Fifth Floor is the first story I've ever completed, and I'm almost 28, so it could be another 28 years before I finish another one. Honestly though, I've no interest in making money from it. Anything that I write, I'm happy to just publish here on this channel. I do this because I love it because I want to. I enjoy it, it's fun, and also I want to show blind people that we can make it on a platform like this. I have had a poem published before though, probably when I was around 8 years old, and I think it was published in an anthology, but I have no idea what it was called. Heart flutters. She's there. No contact, no words, no looks. She's lost in the crowd. How I came up with that at 8 years old, I have no idea, but I did. To be honest, it was painfully embarrassing to share for some reason, but let it never be said that I won't embarrass myself for your entertainment. Alicia Reads and Rambles asks, how did you meet your partner? You know how I said that I couldn't think of a question crueler than Katerina's? Yeah, I was wrong, because this one's even worse. Alicia, do you have any idea what you've done? I've had the piss taken out of me relentlessly over the last few days since you asked this. The truth is, I have a terrible memory and I don't know, I don't remember the specific moment. I know that a lot of people would talk about their partners and say, we were across the cafeteria, our eyes met and I just knew that I loved her, but I can't say that. We met through a mutual acquaintance, we had a drink, we quickly became great friends and started spending a lot of time together, and we stayed that way for around a year before we got together. For me though, that year just passed in a blur. Our friendship was easy, she's always been so much fun to spend time around, and the transition to more than friends was just a natural progression. Seriously, thanks for this one, Alicia. Do you realise how much fun she's been having at my expense because of this question? Saying that she wasn't memorable enough, wasn't important to me back then, so I didn't retain the memory, just making me feel guilty, even though she doesn't actually care. Leo Bancroft asks, if you had an excuse to use any sound effect or music that you haven't had a chance to use yet, what would they be? This is an open-ended question that I actually quite appreciate. I'll take any chance to go through Epidemic Sound's library, and this was a perfect opportunity to listen to as many sound effects as I wanted. To be honest, I felt a little bit like a kid in a sweet shop. So, what sound effects would I use? Well, I'm far too mature to use anything like this, or this, and to be honest, they're just a little bit simple. I like to play with sound effects to create situations. Like now, it sounds like I'm on a basketball court. Am I playing? No. I'm watching somebody, but I'm not impressed with their performance, so I start to whip them to make them play better. Take this, and this. Come on, Dave, pick up the pace, you can do better than this. And now, it sounds like I'm in the office. It's just a normal Monday morning. Hi, Kathy, how was your weekend? But then Kathy stands up from her desk. She has a wolf's head. She snarls at me. For some reason she has an axe. She walks slowly towards me, throws me into the window. I slide down and she brings the axe up and down again. End scene. Chris Reviews has a few questions concerning my favourite things. In terms of movies and TV shows, I'm much more into TV. I prefer that format because it allows much more time for the story to breathe, and these days Netflix is extremely good at providing audio description. It's on every single one of their originals. At this point, I've made it perfectly clear that Bones is my favourite TV show of all time. I also love Wentworth, which is an Australian women's prison drama. It's very good, and I can't recommend it enough. However, there are trigger warnings everywhere and you should probably check them out. It's a prison show. Bad things happen. I like a lot of the ones that you would expect, like Breaking Bad, Orange is the New Black, Bates Motel. I was a huge Walking Dead fan up to a certain point, but I'm not gonna lie, once Negan came into it, my enjoyment dropped significantly. I love Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes. They're two different series, but they tell one big story and it's fantastic. I also love Sense8. It's just such a positive, inclusive show, and there are so many moments where it could take a negative turn but instead gives you a feel-good moment. My favourite dessert is almost impossible to pick because I have a major sweet tooth, but I love a good chocolate brownie and I'll never say no to a New York style cheesecake. I don't have a favourite holiday because they are consumerist propaganda made up by marketing teams that work for corporations that want to make money. Honestly though, either Easter or Halloween, both of them provide an excellent opportunity to indulge in my sweet tooth, and neither of them requires me to endure social interaction. So now it's time to choose my book. I just want to say thank you to everyone who submitted a suggestion. You're all far too kind. Nobody suggested some terrifyingly grisly horror, which to be honest makes you better people than me, because I totally would have. I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be fun to see who wins. Who will fortune favour? Let's find out. And the winner is Anne with a book, who suggested Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell. Cheers for the suggestion, Anne. Part mystery, part psychological, definitely sounds like something I'll enjoy. I've no idea what it's about, I have no information on it whatsoever, and it's going to stay that way because I've been doing that recently and it's made reading really fun. This is a historical moment, by the way. I had the wheel spin on screen so that nobody could accuse me of cheating. Now it's time for I'll Say Anything. You sent in the prompts and I'm going to read them. Jake says, please read the following in a voice that isn't your own. Be very careful what you say, or I'll smash your teeth in, you bastard! Chris Reviews says, you should say, Jack can't come out today, he's been sent to the palace on consignment for Her Majesty, the Queen. Sean Holt wants me to say, many who die deserve life, and some that live deserve death. Can you give it to them, Frodo? Do not be too eager to deal out death in judgment, for even the wise cannot see all ends. Jeremy Fee requested the intro at the beginning of this video. My question for today is this. There are many mysteries in the world, and if you had the opportunity to find out the truth to just one of them, what would it be? For me, I would love to know the true identity of Jack the Ripper. And yes, that is on my mind because of the recent Lemino documentary. If you've had as much fun with this video as I have, the like and subscribe buttons are just sitting there, waiting to be pressed. Now press them, or I'll smash your teeth in, you bastard! If you want to get in touch, say hi and have a chat, then you know where the comment section is, or the link to my Twitter is in the description. Thanks ever so much for spending time with me today, guys. Until next time, take care. For now I'm off, and you should have a good one.